This is a 2006 Subaru Forester, and we're going to replace the engine because it is knocking pretty bad. Here's an example of it. So you think we can have the motor out before lunch?
Ideally, but unfortunately we're not mechanics.
All right, radiator's out, air box is out, battery's out. I think all the plugs are disconnected, all the grounds are disconnected. We're gonna reuse these wires and the coil because those are pretty new. Honestly, it looks like quite a few things might be pretty new, but we'll just replace them anyway. All right, so power steering pump is out, AC is out. Technically not out, but out of the way. We're pretty much ready to pull this thing. Just got to disconnect this fuel line because we don't have the connector or the special tool for that. So we got to go get that. And then we're going to go grab an engine hoist. Got to disconnect the manifold bolts way down, up in there, and up in there. And then, yeah, I think she'll be ready to come out. All right, so we heaved this thing onto the engine stand. We had to pull it out of the basement here, carry it along this minefield and get it over here. So, you know, that was a task. And then over in here, we placed this stupid paperweight. Got the engine mounts out. Got, well, not out, but disconnected. Got most of the trans bolts out. I think there's 2 more or 3 more of those. And then get the stud nuts off and take this stupid thing out. All right, moment of truth here. Let's see if we f***ed ourselves. Ah, that belt actually looks pretty good. This stuff looks fairly new.
Do you want me to rotate it?
Yeah, let's give it a spin.
Gotta go over what, 8 times? I think 1 more rotation will do it.
That water pump spinning fine. It looks pretty nice if it's original. If that's a 16-year-old belt, it looks pretty good.
It's a Subaru belt.
All right, so plugs don't look too bad. It looks like it's a little rich, but you know, that's probably better on a Subaru. Chips, pretty reasonable. Shit's blowing away everywhere, but yeah, not too bad. See how she looks.
Is there another one?
No, that's all 6 of them.
There we go.
Not bad at all. At least looks like it's been taken care of. And then top right. All right, so oil cooler is disconnected. There's the gasket we gotta replace. Did the valve covers already. Kind of didn't do the greatest job videotaping that, but that's all set. Well, I got the other side.
We're horrible at this.
Yeah, well, yeah. There's still the other side to do the valve covers, so maybe we'll have a better time at that.
The old one,
yeah.
it doesn't look that bad, man.
All right, so we already did this on the other side, but now trying to get a better example of what we're doing. Just cleaning off all the mating surfaces, make sure everything looks nice, which everything in here does look pretty nice. We'll replace those O-rings. There's a new seal that goes around here, and then the valve cover would go back on. All right, so valve cover's back on, everything's torqued. Timing belt is all in place. New water pump, new thermostat, new O-ring on the oil cooler, new filter. Everything on this side's all set. Got the wires in, new coil, new plugs. She's sideways and looking good. All right, we're starting to lose daylight here, but timing cover is back on. Still got to get the harmonic balancer on. But this motor is pretty much ready to go in, except for, a couple little accessories and stuff. And then we got to switch the flywheel and clutch. This motor's ready to go out. All the bolts in the back are taken out, motor mounts are out. Move these accessories out of the way. Those are all disconnected. Just get them out of the way and hoist this thing out. All right, so if you're new to Subarus or just an idiot like me, you're learning some new things here. And one thing we learned, had the wrong water pump earlier. I probably forgot to mention that because it needs this coolant outlet here to go over to the oil cooler. So we got that sorted out because this is from an automatic car and the manuals did not have that for whatever reason. Since we're already in here anyway, this timing guide is only in the manuals, funny enough, not in the automatics. So we swapped that over. So kind of a mix of both styles going on here. All right, so obviously it's wicked dark out. We hid the motors under there. They're nice and protected. Table's cleared off. Car is wrapped up, hood shut and everything. Tools and stuff are all tucked away in the back or in the trailer. And yeah, leaving a nice clean workspace. Leaving the car. And we'll pick this up tomorrow and hopefully get it done within the next 2 days because it's supposed to rain in 3 days. So fun. All right, you can see we got a much better lighting setup tonight, as you can see from that. So we can see much better. We also got the music, got some tunes going. So we can get some more work done tonight. Not much, because I had to work today, so, we'll do what we can. Probably try to get this off and onto the new engine, and just anything else I can get done. All right, so I forgot to record it, but got the flywheel and the clutch moved over onto the new engine. Here's the old engine. And now I'm taking the motor mounts off and getting those set up for the new engine. And here's our new motor mount. So it'll be good to go. All right, so you can see we got one motor mount down. Still got to do the one over here because the bracket is still down there. All right, it's the next morning. Obviously, engine's not over there anymore. It's over here now in the lift, most of the way in. Sadly, though, we lost our exhaust manifold gaskets. I have no clue what I did with them. Honestly, thinking they blew away because I have digged through the trash, digged through the cars, looked everywhere. But yeah, almost ready to go back in. Yeah, basically. So it was a bunch of fighting getting this thing in. We're having the hardest time getting the transmission and the case to line up. It was basically a back and forth of jacking up the trans, lowering the engine, raising the engine, lowering the trans, moving stuff around, pushing it, shoving it, wiggling it. Took forever to get the motor mounts to line up. But we got those lined up and bolted in. Got the manifold bolted in with new gaskets. And yeah, it's sitting where it should be. We're, starting to get things kind of lined up in the places they're supposed to be in, putting the stuff back, and let's see, get the radiator in, get the battery in, get the airbox in, get some coolant in it, and see if it runs.
Man, look what you did to my shirt. Dirty.
All right, quick update. After a bunch of monkeying around and almost snapping something, everything is back in, battery's back in, all the accessories, airbox. Now it's time for coolant. All right, here we go.
fuel pump run first? I turned just
Yeah.
turn it on.
Let's see. Oh, steering wheel's locked. Sound like the fuel pump came on. All the relays went on. Okay,
Filled up and did it, yeah.
let's go for it.
Yep. Running.
Yeah, that's a start. Doesn't sound like it's knocking.
Sounds good, Joe.
Yeah. Doesn't sound like timing's off. Doesn't sound like anything's loose. Doesn't sound like anything's leaking. Just try to... Alright, here we are. Car runs. See? Everything sounds good. Waiting in line for some shitty food. This is how we celebrate an engine swap. Some McChickens. Alright, so here we are. Clearly the engine's running, otherwise I wouldn't have to shout a little bit. We went through a lot of hiccups getting this to where we are now. Right now, I'm just making sure the coolant is fully burped. Noticed a little bit of coolant coming out from here. So I just want to make sure there's no air pockets and then kind of go down the process of elimination as to why it's doing that. But everything's in, you know, it's all there. It took a little fighting to get the motor back in. There's a lot of gaps that I'm gonna have to fill with some B-reel footage, or B-reel, that's not a word. That's a B-roll, that's the word I'm looking for. We'll need some B-roll to fill up all the emptiness because I suck at doing this. And yeah, that's it. It's swapped.